What's going on, everyone? So in today's video we are going to be taking a little break from this car to address some issues with my daily driver 2007 Honda Accord. Car's out here in the driveway. So on my way home from work today, the clutch pedal started acting up on me. Basically it wouldn't come all the way up from the floor. It would only come about halfway up. So this car is a 6-speed manual V6 sedan. And not too long ago, I replaced the slave cylinder and the master cylinder, and I tried to bleed it manually. I bled it for probably a couple of hours, and the clutch pedal felt good, and it felt fine when I drove the car. But if I drove the car and shifted it semi-aggressively, after just a couple of shifts, the clutch pedal would get really soft on me. So it definitely needs to be bled more. Hopefully that's the only issue. I've been kind of neglecting it because I've just been so busy, but now it's become a problem and I need to get it taken care of. So to address that issue, I went ahead and picked up from Harbor Freight this guy right here. So it's an air-powered brake and clutch system bleeder. We're gonna get this thing set up and I'll kind of show you how it works, and hopefully this will help bleed the clutch system entirely. Today we are drinking some Gold Peak unsweetened tea. This stuff's pretty good. I like it. Excuse the giant mess. There's just parts from the GTO laying around everywhere, interior pieces. The glove box is sitting here. All of this stuff here is for my best friend Sam, his 2005, I believe, Honda Accord. It needed axles very bad. You can see here, literally the axle basically came apart on him. So he was doing axles today and new brakes all the way around. He was only able to get this one side done because everything was seized up pretty bad. So this thing's in our way, but we're gonna make do. It's just a mess in here. I've got a million things going on. This Rock Auto box here has I haven't opened it yet, have all new front brakes and rear drum brakes for my fiance's Honda Insight, because the brakes on that thing are almost completely shot in the front. So yeah, enough lollygagging. We are gonna start getting to work on the Accord. I think I'll jack it up. I'll jack the front end of the car up so that way I have better access to get under there. We'll go ahead and get this thing set up. We'll get the compressor set up, get it fired up, and then I will meet you guys under the hood of the car. So I really love this car. I've had this thing since 2020 and it's been great to me. I've put probably 50,000 miles on it. It's been super reliable, never had any major issues. It's still on the original clutch at 178,000 miles. It's a rock solid car. I've kind of toyed around with the idea of selling it and maybe getting like a truck or something in the future. I don't really know yet because I love it so much and I have a lot of plans for this thing. So we'll see what happens in the future. But for right now, I'm going to keep enjoying it, keep daily driving it, and keep taking care of it. Okay, so here it is. Just a stock J30A5 V6 in here. Got the good old hot air intake. I mean, this car is pretty stock. I did a timing belt on it a couple of years ago, and when I did that, I replaced this motor mount. I did a Halferland Performance lightweight crank pulley. A couple of other things. This is a J35 magnesium intake manifold. So I think it's typically referred to as like the best intake manifold for J-Series V6s. But yeah, other than that, it's just been a lot of maintenance stuff. I mean, it's my daily driver, so I just trying to keep it decent and nice and making sure it runs good. So yeah, we'll get back to it. We'll start bleeding this clutch and see what we can get out of it.
I heard it. I'm like, I want to see this.
So this is my best friend Sam. You guys will see him a lot because we are always working on something together. House projects, car projects, you name it. We're typically working on them together. I've got a lot of plans for videos and stuff I'd like to do in the future with him, so plan on seeing him more. But right here, we're not necessarily trying to figure out how to use the tool. because we both have experience using these pressurized bleeder tools before. But more so, we kept having an issue with it where when we would hook air up to it and it would start pulling fluid from the slave cylinder, it was sucking air in through like the nipple on the slave cylinder where you would bleed it from, instead of creating a tight seal. So here, the directions said to try and put some silicone grease on it when you install the tool to the nipple of the slave cylinder. So here I am trying to put some grease on there to help see if that solves the issue with pulling unwanted air through the system. Unfortunately, it really didn't do a whole lot for us, so we kind of were fighting pulling unnecessary air through the lines, but the tool definitely did make a difference. It bled the system entirely, and it made it to where, I mean, it saved us so much time using this thing. I would recommend, if anybody does brakes or clutches often enough, I would recommend going out and spending the $100 on the tool. It saved us a bunch of time and made this process go by a lot easier. So here's Sam. He is adjusting the clutch pedal after we finished bleeding the system. He's just basically making it to where the clutch engage is a little higher, so that way the clutch engage is smoother. Since it's a daily driver, I really just want the car to drive as smooth as possible.
I think he'd give it up. I think he'd give it up.
No, he doesn't. He sees how much you can take before you let him in. You feel the pedal now, it should feel very different.
Oh yeah. It doesn't even feel like the same pedal.
Excited to drive it and see how it
Should feel a lot more
how
like
it
a clutch
feels
should.
when I drive it aggressively, because that was my biggest issue, was even if I would just get in on the highway and shift it quickly, into third and fourth, it would start feeling weird. And so that's why I thought, I'm like, maybe there's just air in the line and the pedal is the fluid's boiling over because there's so much air in the system, and that's why it's getting weird and mushy and it doesn't feel right after I drive it kind of hard.
But I mean, it feels all right.
It feels good now.
To drive it, you gotta find the right size for that nut to tighten it, but.
So we're out here test driving the car to see how this new pedal adjustment feels. It's way different than what I'm used to. The pedal comes up really high. I'm probably going to give it a little bit, see if I like it, see how it drives, before I decide if I'm going to mess with it or not. How was the clutch in the Miata compared to
It was. It was also it was pretty high up. It engaged pretty high up. But when
it was so smooth, it felt awesome.
Yeah, if you lower that pedal though, it will obviously engage lower, so that could be adjusted in the future. It's the way I got it sitting in my Accord now is lower than yours is.
Yeah.
And there is a certain spec that Honda actually has, how high it wants it to be, but no.
Feels good so far. We'll pull over up here and I'll let you drive it. Okay, so
Even though
Sam's gonna give it a little rip and see what he thinks about it.
it's kind of weird. Yeah, right off the
You gotta
bat,
move
it's
your
just-
seat forward more.
It's like that little shakiness that it has that I was talking about. Yeah, it doesn't feel like what my pedal feels.
Maybe it's just the master cylinder. So the thing is I put, according to a lot of the guys in the Honda Accord, the 7th gen Honda Accord Facebook groups, they all said that an upgrade for this master cylinder was an EM2 Civic master cylinder because it doesn't have a check valve in it. So that's what I ordered, and that's what I put in the car. Right now it's got a Civic master cylinder in it, and I'm curious if that's why it's shaky like that. Honda claims that it's supposed to make it to where you have smoother clutch engagements. But a con of that is sometimes it won't let you shift as fast. It'll almost lock you out of gear if you try to shift too fast.
I mean, it's like as long as, or as far as like the pressure of the pedal and like where the clutch engages, like it feels like it should, but it's just that little like shakiness that it has to it that's just weird to me, because my clutch pedal doesn't have that. So who knows? I mean, it could be the line, but the only way you can find out is by swapping it out.
Right.
With a different one, like the OEM one.
Based off of what I know about the master cylinders for these cars and what the check valve delete is supposed to do, it really makes me think that's what the issue is.
But
as far as the shakiness in the pedal.
Like you drove Civics before, right? Like they don't have that shakiness. Either way, like it feels unnatural, you know. Like it's not something that you would feel in a car that's OEM. Like, okay, this came out of the factory like this. Like,
right.
I've never really felt something like that before. So
well, maybe we'll start with. I mean, I agree. Like, maybe I'll throw I'll order just a regular Accord clutch master, and we'll throw that in there and see what it does for us. We have the bleed tool now, so it's not a big deal to swap it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's going to do it for this video. Kind of a quick one for me tonight. I had to get this thing taken care of after work, and I didn't have a whole lot of time, so I only spent a couple of hours on it. The clutch pedal does feel way better. There's Sam. The clutch pedal does feel way better. I'm still gonna. I think it's gonna take getting used to on how it actually engages. It engages way at the top of the pedal now. Not a bad thing, like I said, but definitely different than what I'm used to driving. As far as the shakiness in the pedal is concerned, I don't know what it is, but I'd like to track it down and see if we can't figure it out. The only thing, like I said, the only thing I think it could be is potentially the master cylinder, because, I mean, technically the master that's in that car did not come with that car. So we'll probably order a new master cylinder and swap that out just to see if it does anything. I mean, they're cheap enough. I think a new master cylinder is only like $60. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye.